Hi all, welcome to BRR Knowledge Center. So in this session, we'll see like how to create a xUnit test cases for your .NET development and how to run these xUnit test cases and now how to see the log file of your xUnit test results. So what tests are getting failed and what tests are getting passed or successfully executed as part of building your .NET application. So as I mentioned, explained in the later previous sessions, so this xUnit is an open source framework, so which can use it as part of .NET application development, and it supports all the .NET framework versions from .NET framework 4.5.2 or later versions. So in this session, I'm going to showcase the example application which have been already developed. This is what the example I'm going to explain it. This is what the location registration I have already in my system, and it has some methods here. And I already created some mark data as part of getting and having navigating between these data and updating and deleting of locations. So, and here I have add location, delete location, and edit location and get location endpoints here in the location registration API. And here I just created one other project, location registration dot test. And here I just added a class location registration controller test. So this is basically my controller name, and I just added test. Okay, location registration controller and test. So as part of this, I think you need to give a reference xUnit, and if you're not having it, and you go to the NuGet package manager and you add xUnit namespace here, and that way you need to have that attributes, and we can use those attributes as part of writing the unit test cases. Okay, and coming to this location registration controller, I'm just running and see like how the endpoints are working, and then we'll get into this unit test cases writing part. Okay, so I'm just running my location registration here, where I have some mark data and some endpoints here, and there are some aspects here. I think okay, let me close this. I'm going to command this. I can spread my location registration here. And if I seed my Swagger UI here, I'll get my location registration endpoints. Mm, okay, so it's coming now. Yeah. So I can see now location registration here. These are my location registration endpoints. And in these locations, I have get locations, and this is something, edit location and get location, and again, patch location, and this is locations by ID. Okay, now how I'm going to write a test cases for this location registration endpoints. So if I execute, I'll usually get my locations here, and even if you want to get only particular one location, still I can get through location here, try it out and use a location ID, and this is 1.0 something version. I still get my location, so everything is working fine. Now I wanted to write some test cases for my blocks, code blocks. So how you will write that? I just close this, and I'm just going back here, and here as I already explained, this is what my class I created here. In this class, I'm going to start writing of my test cases. So as I said, so I have location registration control, hence I'm going to declare a variable here. I think a location controller, location registration, or I think the given location controller. This is my controller, and I'm declaring controller variable, and I'll just mark this as read only for now, because I don't want to disturb this. And I'm going to declare another variable for my mark data, I think, which is mapping to my interface again. declare another variable which is of type again read only location data, where I have my endpoint declarations. So location data, if you look at here, this is my mock data, and again this was inherited from iLocation data. If I open here, these are my skeleton part here where I have all the endpoints, right? So I must get this endpoint skeleton or the definition, not the implementation, right? So with this interface, then hence I've created a variable for that as well. Now I'll declare a constructor and public's registration controller test. This is my class. Further, I'm declaring the constructor, and then I'm assigning my location data equal to new mock location data. So where I have my mock data, which I have already explained. This is what my mock location data. So where I have my data here defined, and I'm assigning my controller variable as location controller of underscore location data. So that way I'm passing my mark data to my location controller constructor. If you go and see here in the location controller, so I have a constructor here, right? So for this I'm passing my no mock data, and that data I'm assigning to location data global variable. Okay, this is part of constructor. Okay, constructor for my xUnit. Okay, once I created all these prerequisites, okay, controller, what is happening, right? So I'm going to start writing of my test cases here. First I'll get this location method called get locations, and this is the method I'm going to write it here. So get locations basically gives me first location of my collection of locations. That's what I defined here, first or default of my locations from the get locations, right? So for this method I'm going to write xUnit test case. So please make sure that the naming convention should be uh, you know having proper meaning for your unit test method. That way you can easily recognize and easily can identify like this test case is belonging to so x method or y method. Okay, defining public void. I can say this is a get locations method, hence I'm mentioning get when called uh, returns okay result. Okay, and on top of this I told you you decorate this fact, that way it is stating that so this is going to be executed by test runner. Okay, now here I am using I can say that var assigning okay result variable equal to underscore controller dot. I have my all the methods here get location sample. Okay, this is the action basically, right? And once I get this result into this, I'm going to define my assertion here. Assert dot I can say is type of okay object result. This is the now type I'm using it to validate my result of type of okay result, which have been stored here after getting get locations, and here as okay object result action. Okay, so this is what my assertion condition. That means I'm checking whether my result is of type okay object result or not. Okay, So if you can see here, an object result that when executed perform content negations format the entity body and will produce no status code 200 or not. So I'm just comparing these two of type, whether this type and this type same or not something. And if it is same, then it is going to run this status code. So once you complete this writing of this xUnit case for get method, just right click and execute your test, run test. So then it will go to your class here, namespace location registration dot test, and in that you have a class, and this is what your method get when called underscore return okay result. And even you can see that logic here if you want to see. Source code, uh, and here you can see the number of milliseconds has been taken, and you have several aspects here: run all test cases, run failed test, run node run test, run pass test, repeat last run, debug, simulate code coverage. So there are a lot of options here in this test explorer. You can execute and see like what is happening with respect to the selected option here. I just selected analysis of my code and then it started, and then it will give you the status of the stuff here, running of my code analysis, and it will tell you so global classes and location registration class, and then inside of location registration what you have a location controller and what methods you have, and not covered, covered, all the stuff you will be having it in this dashboard. So let's leave about that, but basically completely different context and different topic that now only looking at the test cases. So here I only rated one test case and it is getting passed. Okay, and this is something total test and this is passed, and if you here open playlist file where it is opening your playlist file here, and these are something group by, and this is expand all, and this is collapse all, and these are the settings if you want to set any kind of columns you want to see a column class or the state. So everything you can see here, and as part of result if you want to see that, so I think open test log where it is uh, saving the test log of your test case. I think click on it, go to test, here open test log. If you see the screen behind this test explorer, I'm just a document, and here I can see this stuff here. Okay, just closing this. Okay. Here. In test log, this is my test log. So where I have location registration, uh, test case pass or fail status, and the source code you can see here when clicking on that. And also you go and see here in the path itself if you want, and I can see here pin 6, I think something it is posting here in the test log, the forecast and z and debug.net. Okay, I think it is saving the file path as part of running the stuff. Okay, test results, and you just delete this and see like how it is generating again. Open this again and start running this. It is going to run again, and go back to your test result here. Okay, still it is running or what? Let me again run this application context settings, and you go and see here, and here it is having log file, so where you can view this log file here. I think same stuff it is showing. I think in this test result part, I think you will be getting code analysis part. I think just to close this, open your test case, run test. Here you can see test is passed, and I think we have selected this thing. That's why it was generated the analysis report, and then it is saving here. And if you go and see here, I think this is how the folder was created. And if you open this, it is showing something, and you must open in Visual Studio only. If you open that, it will tell us about your the report. What happened? It's not log file, and this is where it is going to open in Visual Studio 2022. Already opened. You want to reopen? Yes. Okay, this was opening here itself, and it is again having all the code, coverages report here, question registration stuff, another controller stuff, and this you can see and can identify what is missing and what is covering and what is not covering, and take action on it. No, that's all about a different thing. So I just created one method here, and that method is okay, fine, running now. Now I want to create another method as part of fail cases. So I'm going to create one more method, uh, a public void. I think I'll create another fail method, fail case. What we'll do is we will pass unknown GUID value. So for that, I think get by ID underscore unknown GUID passed and return not found result, because unknown GUID value, if you can pass it, definitely you'll get returns no result, or results not found with relevant to that GUID, right? So for this, what we will do is your action was, no, again I'll say not found result equal to underscore controller dot get location of, I'm passing some random GUID value, new GUID value, and okay, and definitely I'll get some wrong values. That means the values being hardwired there in the mock data, always it refers to hardwired GUIDs there, and you are passing new GUID, definitely will not get the result. So how you will assert that? Assert dot again is type of not found object result. This is what the knowledge type you need to mention it here, not found result. Okay, let's see like how it is running. Again, you need to decorate this with the fact. Okay, if you look at here in the mark data, so I have this is GUID and this is GUID, right? So when you run the get locations, then you will get the GUID, right? But in this case, in the test case, you are again generating a new. definitely you will not get the GUID in the given locations, right? So I'm just running this, or you just run all test cases and see how it is running. The first case it is running, and almost it is getting passed, and second one also passed. Oh, oh, it's very crazy. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm passing a GUID value, and it is getting result as no, not found result, right? So myself saying that not found result, right? If I say a found result, uh, I think not found, not found result, not found object result, that's fine. And if I say this, and if I run all tests, no, it's going through exception. So how you will write this was okay. So what is happening here is I declared not found result. Here I used again this. So if I say object result of okay result, this not found result as okay object result, then you will get a wrong test case, because uh, I definitely not get a result, right? So if you can see here, first case was passed because location is getting it all, and my result was passed. And second case, I get the result as not found, and I'm comparing with OK object result. So anyway, both are not a same type, hence it is showing you failed case. So you must use this kind of types here. So when basically writing test cases for uh, endpoints using this MVC core. So it represents the kind of type which is basically returning okay object result. Okay, now I'll try to write a one more failed case, and this is fine. I think one failed case, if I say not found object result, this is returning not found, and you just copy the same thing to check this. Here you just say okay object result not found as okay object result, and here I say returns found result, and this is again getting passed. When I run this, so when I execute this, so I'll get this is passed, and this is failed. Anyway, now how to use other attributes as mentioned in theory and inline data. I'm going to write another test case, public void get by id existing good past returns okay result. So for this I'm going to declare one variable, right? And here as part of action again I'll say same okay result equal to controller dot get location of my GUID which I'm passing through uh, parameter. Okay, and it will give a typecasting error. Let's get into to that. And after writing of this assertion, assert dot is type of no okay object result. Okay, object result of okay result as okay object result. Okay. Now thank you much to remove this. This is okay. Now this will give the casting exception because GUID is not and cannot convert from string to GUID. So what we'll do is I think var test GUID equal to new GUID of GUID. Let's see like how it is working. Test GUID I'm passing to here. Now it's fine. Now how to no decorate this? First we need to decorate this as theory. Okay, and after that you need to pass inline data of here. You need to pass GUID here. Let me say this 817 something CD or 4HT some any no good value pass it and let's see like how it is doing it. And when I run this test and run all tests, so you definitely get exception here. That means test case is going to get failed because that ID will not available here. Oh, this is passing. Oh, existing was failed. Yeah, this was failed because this GUID will not be available, right? So definitely we'll get result as empty, and this is not of same type, hence it is failing, right? Even you can debug it. So suppose if I want to run only failed test cases here, run on failed test, it will only execute failed test cases, right? If you want to debug, okay, if you want to debug, so just debug so that it will debug your test cases and see like how result is coming and how it is validating. That way you can understand what is happening. If you look at here, whatever value I'm passing here, that is coming in this GUID and should contain 32 digit. Oh, I just mentioned some wrong value. I must give 32 digit value. So better what we'll do is we'll run this and we'll get the GUID and that GUID will paste it. Must have that 32 digit number here. So no worries. I think I might have given wrong count value. We'll execute and see like try it out, execute, and you'll see this is GUID. I'm just copying and just closing, and I'll give the same ID here. But please make sure that this ID will not be available. Only that instance it is available. I just stopped my service. Now, if you run like debug, so just run test debug test. Now you'll get the debugger file here and see how the test case is going to execute. Now I just entered into my test case here. So this is what my GUID here. Now I think I have given correct value, converting to this one, and then just get into this control locations. This is my ID passed, and I get null value because I don't have any location with that. So definitely it will return a message here, and it comes to here. This was something okay result, and this is not exactly what okay object result, right? This is something having null value. and it is value or something was not found. Okay, when it comes to here, this is same thing. Hence, it is saying suggestion is a failure. Okay, that's how you need to define your test cases, and it is going to execute and showcase here all your test cases. Okay, so I hope you understand xUnit test case how we are running and writing as part of .NET project, and how it is showcase the test cases of fail and pass status. Okay, in a similar way, I think you must make sure that the test case name also must be as part of no method you are writing it. If you're writing it per post, mention post. If you're writing for patch, mention patch. If you're writing it for get, just mention get. And by ID, and this is how underscore unknown UID passed underscore returns found result. This is how you are going to naming of your test case and writing your test cases using xUnit. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.